You looked at Jungkook. Yoonwoo, who was on your lap, looked up at you before kissing your cheek. Yoonwoo, I am gonna miss you, Ms. YN. When will we meet? You smile softly. YN. Soon. Yoonwoo. Call me if you need anything, I will run here. Which is your house?
You pointed towards the apartment as Yoonwoo followed it. Yoonwoo, you live with your parents. You shook your head. YN. They are in my hometown. I am here alone, but I share the apartment with a girl the same age as me. Yoonwoo. Daddy, let's go to her apartment. Jungkook. Yoonwoo, we can't. Next time maybe. Yoonwoo pouted and sat back sulking in your arms. YN. Yoonwoo, baby, your daddy is right. You must go to your home too. You can come here anytime. Even if it's midnight, I will let you inside. Okay. Yoonwoo. Okay, take care, Ms. YN. I have saved mine and daddy's number on your phone, please call if needed. You nodded and got down from the car. Jungkook got down too and took out some belongings of yours from the backseat before handing it to you. YN, thanks for everything. He smiled and nodded. You waved towards Yoonwoo before entering the building. Jungkook stands there staring at your back before entering his car.
Yoonwoo. Daddy, I want to go inside her apartment. Jungkook. Next time, Yoonwoo. We have to go back to the villa. You nodded while you heard everything the principal was saying. Principal, I hope everything will be done before the weekend. YN, we will make sure to finish it. You bowed towards him as he walked away. You closed your notebook and looked around. You were standing inside the kindergarten, the most expensive in the town.
You hear a familiar voice. You look around and see Yoonwoo, who was shouting at a woman who was grabbing his arm harshly. You saw Ben was standing near them but wasn't doing anything. You walked towards them. It's been 3 months since you saw or talked with Yoonwoo. You were so busy with your work that you barely got some time. YN. Yoonwoo. You softly called his name. Ben was the first one turning around. He felt relieved to see you there. You smiled at Ben before looking at Yoonwoo, who was looking at you with his teary eyes. The woman looked at you. She quickly left Yoonwoo's arm. Yoonwoo quickly ran towards you before hugging your knees tightly. You bent down and hugged him as he sobbed on your shoulder. YN. Yoonwoo, what happened? Yoonwoo. Ms. YN, I missed you. He broke the hug and caressed your cheek. Why didn't you call me? And not come to meet me? You pushed his hair away from his teary eyes. YN. I am sorry, I was busy with my work and I am just sorry. He wiped his tears and nodded. You smile and dig into your bag before pulling out the chocolate. He smiled and grabbed the chocolate before hugging you again. You picked him up and looked at the woman. YN. Hello, I am YN. Your name? She gave you a fake smile as you can see it through. Chaiwon. You nodded.
Chaiwon. Yoonwoo, let's go, I want to buy you toys. He shook his head and hugged your neck. Yoonwoo. I want to stay with Ms. YN, you can go. Chaiwon. Yoonwoo, don't test my patience, she got cut off by Yoonwoo. Yoonwoo. Ms. YN, Daddy and Granny will be so happy to see you. Let's go to our house, what do you say? YN. Baby, I still have my work. Yoonwoo. It's okay, we can wait, right Uncle Ben? Ben, as you say, Master. He bowed as Yoonwoo looked at you while smiling. You looked at his cute face as you sighed, giving up.
YN. Okay, I still have an hour left, so. You looked at Ben. Ben, we will be waiting in the lounge. You smile and nodded. YN. Yoonwoo, I will come back soon, okay. He smiled and nodded before getting down from your arms. Yoonwoo went to Ben as Ben picked the little boy up before walking away. Yoonwoo, hurry up, I can't wait to surprise Daddy and Granny. You smile and wave at him. You looked at Chaiwon as you walked away without saying anything to her. She rolled her eyes and followed Ben.
Yoonwoo, Granny, look who is here. Jungkook's grandma looked up from her phone and met your eyes. She smiled brightly, placing the phone aside, and she walked towards you. Guys, Chaiwon walked in front to hug grandma, but she pushed her and hugged you instead. Grandma, you don't know how much I missed you. She grabbed your cheek. You have become more beautiful.
YN, it's not like that. By the way, how are you? Grandma, everything is fine with me. Nothing can happen to me anyways. You smiled and nodded. She looked at Ben. When is Jungkook coming home? Jungkook, do you need something, Granny? He entered the living room. You smile looking at him and he gladly smiles back. Chaewon walked towards Jungkook and hugged him tightly. Jungkook gently pushed her and walked towards Yoonwoo before picking him up. Yoonwoo kissed his daddy's cheek. Yoonwoo, how was your day, Daddy? Jungkook, it was great, tell me about yours. You guys sat down on the couch. You sat down beside Jungkook. Grandma sat down in front of you guys. Grandma, Ben, have a seat. He nodded and was about to walk to sit beside Grandma but Chaewon slightly pushed Ben away. Chaewon, if you don't mind can you sit somewhere else? Ben nodded and sat a little away from them. Yoonwoo, mine was great too. I met Ms. YN in the school and brought her here. Are you happy to see her here, Daddy? Jungkook smiled and nodded. Chaewon rolled her eyes as Jungkook never smiled at her but he was smiling towards you. Jungkook, what were you doing there, YN? He looked at you. YN, the principal of that kindergarten asked for some workers to arrange for the festival. So I went there to ask what was required and all. Jungkook patently heard what you said. Grandma, you must be tired, YN. How about you stay here tonight? Yoonwoo and Jungkook nodded before looking at you. You awkwardly smiled and shook your head. YN, I can't, sorry. Yoonwoo, please stay, Ms. YN. It's been too long since we met and now you are saying you can't stay. This is not fair, not at all. Grandma, not for me but at least stay for Yoonwoo. You looked at her before turning towards Yoonwoo. He was looking at you with a hope that you could agree. YN, fine. Yoonwoo, yay, let's go, I will show you your room. He grabbed your hand as he started to lead. You excused yourself and followed him. Chaewon, can I stay here too, Grandma? She grabbed Grandma's hand. Yoonwoo, you said you have a meeting early in the morning, right? He ran downstairs and stood in front of Jungkook. Daddy, I want your help, let's go. He keeps jumping making Jungkook giggle. Jungkook, Grandma, I will come in a bit. Saying that he carried Yoonwoo and walked upstairs. Grandma, Ben, drop Chaewon safely. She said and walked away. You walked outside of the bathroom in your bathrobe and found Yoonwoo and Jungkook on your bed. You tightened the robe around your waist. YN, what are you guys doing here? Jungkook, I brought clothes for you to change. I will leave.
You looked at Yoonwoo who was still sitting on the bed peacefully. YN, won't you join your dad? Yoonwoo, I am a baby. YN, but you are a boy, right? He bit his tongue before running away. You giggle and shook your head. You walked downstairs when Yoonwoo ran towards you. Yoonwoo, Ms. YN, look who is here. He grabbed your hand and dragged you beside the couch. You saw two unfamiliar faces. Looks like we have a guest. The middle-aged woman looked up and down on your body. YN, hello, I am YN. You bowed to her. YN, Chaewon who was still there, stood up from her seat and walked beside the woman. Chaewon, she is the girl who threw herself in front of Jungkook's car and got into an accident. You bite your lips. Oh, so you were that dumb girl. Jungkook, Mom. You looked at Jungkook's mom who was looking at you with a hateful gaze. Granny, yeah, the dumb girl that I mentioned who helped me in the mall when Chaewon was busy buying things for herself. You looked at her. Hearing her, you assumed Chaewon and Grandma went to the mall together but Chaewon left Grandma alone and she got hurt. A middleman cleared his throat loudly. You assume he is Jungkook's dad. Mr. Jaeon, we all are tired, let's eat first. Yoonwoo shook your arm gaining your attention. Yoonwoo, let's eat, Ms. YN. You smile and nodded. You glance at Jungkook before walking towards the kitchen with Yoonwoo and Granny.
Do you want to know?
Yoonwoo slammed the door open. Yoonwoo, Daddy, you stand on the doorstep as you see Jungkook shirtless inside his room. You look away as Yoonwoo run towards his daddy before hugging his leg. Jungkook placed down his wine glass on the nightstand before grabbing a shirt from the bed which he threw a few minutes ago.
Jungkook, you should have knocked. He whispered to Yoonwoo. Yoonwoo, you said I don't have to knock to come to my daddy's room. Jungkook, yes, but that's when you were alone coming here. Yoonwoo, you didn't mention that. He pouted and looked down. Jungkook, I am done. You finally looked at the father and son. Yoonwoo, Ms. White, come inside. You walked towards them and stood beside Yoonwoo. Jungkook, why are you guys here? Yoonwoo, Daddy, Ms. Whiteman was working on her laptop but it started to hang and she couldn't work on it anymore. You showed the laptop which you were holding. Jungkook grabbed it before sitting on the bed and opening it. Yoonwoo, I told her how you were an expert in recovering the laptop. Jungkook chuckled. Jungkook, I am not an expert, I just know it. Yoonwoo, it's the same thing. He threw himself on Jungkook's bed. Jungkook, please take a seat. You nodded and sat beside Yoonwoo.
You take time to roam your eyes around Jungkook's room. It was pretty big. Jungkook, it contains many unnecessary files which make it hang. I have deleted the unwanted files. It will take time. You nodded. YN, thank you. He shook his head.
Jungkook, it's not a big deal. Do you want some wine? I was drinking some. YN, this late at night. Jungkook, yeah, I mean I like drinking at night so. He rubbed his eyes while smiling. You stop. YN, just a little please. Yoonwoo, mango juice for me please. He looked at his dad with his puppy face. Jungkook, yes sir. He smiled at his son before walking towards the mini fridge. He returned with 2 glasses as he gave you a glass of wine while Yoonwoo grabbed his mango juice. Yoonwoo, it smells so good, thank you daddy. He said and started to drink the juice. Jungkook grabbed his glass of wine and sat down on his previous spot. Yoonwoo, and then I shot the ball and it went inside. And that's how we won. Today was the best day. You and Jungkook listened to Yoonwoo with a smile on your face. Whitehead, congratulations on winning, baby. You kissed his forehead as he giggled before hugging you. Wait, Grandma who was standing on the door witnessed how lovely you guys were looking. You were loving Yoonwoo while showering him kisses as Jungkook stared at you both with a smile on his face. Grandma slightly knocked on the door making you guys come out of your little world. Jungkook looked at the door. Jungkook, Grandma, what brings you here? Grandma and then walked inside the room. Grandma, I was passing by and heard some giggling. Someone is having fun without me. Yoonwoo, Granny, we were talking about my dad. Our team won the soccer match. Grandma, Omo, really? Then you must be tired. How about I ask the maid to give you a good massage? Yoonwoo, no, I don't like when they give me a massage.
Grandma, why? Yoonwoo, I just don't like it. Oh, Ms. YN, how about you give me a massage? YN, me, Jungkook. Yoonwoo, you shouldn't say that, she is our guest herein. YN, Jungkook, chill down. Why are you scolding a baby? It is just an innocent request. Jungkook's grandmother's heart melted how you backed Yoonwoo in front of his own dad. She remembered how Yoonwoo said, I want someone who would be on my side when no one is, even my dad. And seeing you being on Yoonwoo, she is sure that you were the one. But it was a selfish wish. Jungkook, but you seem uncomfortable. YN, I am not. It's just that I am not so good at taking care of kids. Like what if I hurt them? Grandma, it's so easy. Let me teach you. Jungkook, how about you get a head massage from me? Just like in childhood. Jungkook, head massage. Why not? Ben, I will prepare the oil and mattress. He said and walked away. Chaewon, who was still in the house, heard the giggling from Jungkook's room. Jungkook, don't you dare do that, YN, I will. Your and Jungkook laugh can be heard from outside the door. Chaewon couldn't help but to feel insecure about it.
She quickly ran downstairs to Jungkook's mom. Mrs. Jaeon, what do you mean by that? Don't be insecure. I won't let Jungkook be with that poor dirty girl. She angrily knocked on the door. The giggles from inside stopped. Soon the door opened. By you. Your smile faded when you saw Jungkook's mom with Chaewon behind her. YN, what happened? Mrs. Jaeon. Mrs. Jaeon, this is a respected people's house, not your poor apartment where people are viewing the midnight too. Do you even know how late it is? Someone is trying to sleep and what the hell are you doing in Jungkook's room? Do you think a disciplined girl would be in a boy's room late at night? YN, it's not what you think. Mrs. Jaeon, what do you mean by that huh? Yoonwoo, Granny, what happened? Why are you shouting at Ms. YN? He stands beside you and grabs your hand. JP's mom looked at her grandson whose hair was tied into two ponytails. Mrs. Jaeon, what's with your hair, Yoonwoo? She angrily looked at you. He is a boy not a girl that. You would tie ponytails on him. JP's mom pushed you out of the way before entering the room. Chaewon looked at you in a bitchy way. You looked at Yoonwoo who was worriedly looking at you. Yoonwoo, are you okay? Ms. YN. You smile and nod as you caress his hair. Jungkook's mom saw how Jungkook's grandmother was tying Ben's hair as Jungkook laughed while sitting in front of Ben. Jungkook's hair was in two ponytails. Jungkook. Oh, mom. He stood up. Chaewon. Jungkook, what's with that hairstyle? Jungkook looked back at you before smiling. He looked at his mother who was looking at her son smiling ear to ear. Jungkook. Mom, you remember when I was little? Grandma used to tie mine and Hung's hair just like this. We were recreating it. And you used to click pictures of ours. Jungkook's mother looked at her son smiling while talking about his past without feeling guilty or regret. Mrs. Jaeon, yeah I remember. I have placed it inside the album. Jungkook, we were looking at it, do you want to see it too? His mom shook her head. Mom, look at Yoonwoo, doesn't he look like Hung? Mrs. Jaeon looked at Yoonwoo who was standing beside you. She smiled and nodded. I have clicked Yoonwoo's pictures too, we can print it out. Mrs. Jaeon, who gave this idea of recreation? Grandma. YN, she gave the idea. You were playfully making Yoonwoo's ponytail when Jungkook mentioned how Yoonwoo was looking like his real father and shared his childhood memories with his brother. And you suggested to recreate it with Jungkook's hair too. Mrs. Jaeon nodded and sighed before walking towards you. She placed a hand on your shoulder. Mrs. Jaeon, thank you for everything, she said and walked away. Chaewon stood there for sometimes and not knowing what to do, she walked outside.